Sup guys, it's Lauren Howe coming back at you with another how-to. This is one of my favorite t-shirts of all time. Les aventures de Tintin et Milou. I went to French immersion. The French comic books of Tintin and Milou were like my life as a kid. This video idea came from me getting ready with a bunch of girlfriends recently and realizing that I had learned a ton of little minor tips and tricks that made a difference at Miss Universe and both modeling part-time that I thought would be useful for a lot of women when it comes to getting ready to go out or getting ready for major events. These are my top 10 tips and tricks of what helped me when I was going through Miss Universe that still continue to help me today. First and foremost is teeth whitening. I can't tell you the last time I actually used a tooth whitener, and that's the most annoying answer I could give you, but oral hygiene as a whole is important. So I make sure I use one of those Philips electronic toothbrushes, the ones that even beep when you hit the 2-minute mark, with I use Crest 3D White toothpaste and the 3D White mouthwash at night. That's all I do. I don't do white strips. I feel like there are a ton of gimmicks out there about it, but one of the most critical things that I learned from, ironically, when I was competing at a pageant and there was a dental hygienist there, she said, be aware that if you use your white strips and then have coffee, you actually could make stains worse. Heels, you got two options, the way I see it. One, you can have a brand new shiny heel with a perfect bottom that when you sit and it shows, it's awesome, but then you might fall somewhere. Or two, you don't care about what the bottom of your shoe looks like and you go stuff those babies up. So when we show up to Miss Universe or anything, you get your shoes for the first time and then you have to wear it on a very slippery surface on a stage. Almost immediately, you take it to the pavement. You put it right on the pavement, you scratch it, you scuff it up. There's even, you can buy little pads that go on the ball of the foot of the heel itself that are grips. I highly, highly recommend that if you're buying it for any special event and they're a brand new pair of shoes. If you're wearing heels for a long time, how do you make it bearable? Well, you're bound to get blisters. We've all been there. We've all picked out a brand new pair of shoes and we say, pain is beauty. No, you can make it bearable. These are my favorite. Specifically looking for band-aids that are blister band-aids that have a smoother surface are better to wear to prevent blisters on heels than the traditional band-aids that have that rougher outside surface that's flesh toned. If you have the rougher surface on the outside and then you have a heel that's rubbing against that, that naturally is going to create a little bit more friction and makes the band-aid more likely to fall off. But blister band-aids are your best friends, and there even is a little bit of like sometimes blister glue. Not wear a band-aid and have your skin, you can put that on. Boob tricks. I don't know how to say that in a classy conservative way. Breast enhancements? That sounds like surgery. Cleavage maximus. There are chicken cutlets. Not literal chicken cutlets, they're boob inserts called chicken cutlets. There's also triangle shaped ones for people who want to put it in a swimsuit. I don't recommend that if you actually plan on swimming, you know. But then there's also I call it the Kim Kardashian tape method. If you have something that's a very low deep V, you can buy bras that are specific to, that are kind of create that low V that enhance and pull up on the side, but you can actually even just use packing tape. It's not comfortable, but it gets the job done in a really effective and affordable way. Panty liners, but not for what they're made to be used for. So there's nothing I hate more than sweating in really good clothes, especially a good blazer or a jacket. How attractive to talk about, right? So my biggest trick is I actually buy panty liners, like the really, really, really thin ones, and you put them on the inside of a blazer. So you stick them to the material and you have to like test it out to make sure it really sticks to that specific material. If it doesn't, you can take clothing pins and pin it to it on the inside. I don't like using heavy deodorants. I know that you can buy clinical strength deodorant. I used to use that for a few years, and the more I keep reading about the health things to do with putting heavy chemical products for your underarms, it just kind of freaks me out. So I tried to move towards a natural deodorant, but obviously they may not be as effective all the time. Again, super attractive to talk about. Pre-plan and organize your outfits. I just did this with my mom the other night for one of her trips. She was packing in a rush and it was last minute, and it was kind of like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna wanna wear, but here are all these clothes, I'll put it in and I'll figure it out when I get there. Guys, it's so worth taking the time before you leave to just plan your outfits. You can either do this on a rainy day, you can do this when you're doing a spring clean out or closet overhaul, but start to pare your outfits down together, down to little details. I didn't even do this at Miss Universe because I didn't have time to do it properly, but technically girls have binders where it says, this is my outfit, here are the clothes, here's the jewelry that goes with it, here are the shoes that pair well with it. You might even have like a few different variations of that outfit, but you see it all in one and you know exactly, even down to the hair and makeup style that pairs well with that. Okay, if I have a cocktail event, these are the options that I have in my portfolio. If I have this, these are the options that I have. And then it gets even better that if you start to pair these things together and you have a friend who's really stylish, you can even go to them and be like, hey, here's my book. Would you do anything differently? Do you think I could use any additional pieces? And then you're never gonna have to worry about it again. Which leads me to my next point about practicing hair and makeup looks. We all have busy schedules. If you decide you want to try this new hairstyle that you read about, you're not going to try it the night that you have to go out because you're going to come home late from work. You're going to be in a rush to go to that event. You're going to try the hairstyle. It's frustrating beyond belief. And then you end up doing the same hair anyways and you end up running late and telling your friend you're on your way, but really you're just getting started on that new hair. So do those things on an ongoing basis to keep your skills up to date with those new styles. Don't experiment with it the night of. It never goes right. Continuing on with the line of practicing is practicing your angles for photos. It sounds vain, it sounds narcissistic. Go in front of a mirror and literally pose or take selfies. So you might have, say for me, like I have a strong jawline that I know having my head instead of straight but angled a little bit is like what I prefer for my angles. Or I'm more of an athletic build. So if I'm wearing a swimsuit or something that's tight, I don't necessarily have a very curvy body, it's a little bit more straight and athletic. So I like to turn my hips and be more at a 45-degree angle than necessarily being straight on. Little things. We all have different body types and we should embrace every kind of beauty. So embrace your own kind of beauty and your features. Heaven forbid you have that group shot with friends where they only take like one photo and that's it, that's all you get, and you look at it, you're like, oh, I don't like that. Can we do it again? You'll never be the one saying that because you know your angles, don't you? Good skin as a base. Beauty truly is on the inside, but outer beauty is a fabricated product that's the result of a talented group of artists. While makeup can change the way a person looks, if you don't have a good foundation for your skin, no pun intended, it will be very difficult to make certain things happen. Not to mention, your skin is also a reflection of your inner health. So if you have skincare problems, to resolve those before focusing on beauty and makeup cover-ups is highly, highly encouraged. Photoshop can cover things up, but on video and live television, you can't hide that. And I don't mean to downplay it like it's an easy solution at all. I'm gonna have another video down the road on my acne journey. Like, I had a little bit of acne in high school and then it got really bad in first and second year university where I just like, I was sad. Like, I didn't wanna have a social life. I didn't want people to see me. I was embarrassed. No amount of makeup can hide truly how that feels. A few things that you can do, just simple solutions. One, invest in actually seeing a skincare practitioner or someone who is an expert in this field. Two, don't go blowing your money on all these different products and having this experimental trial and error. You're gonna throw your skin into a whirlwind that it doesn't understand what to do. Three, don't be afraid to moisturize. Moisturize, 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 moisturize. I don't know how many times to say that. Four, look at your inner health. Are you drinking enough water? Potentially, do you have a food allergy that you could get looked at that you don't realize? Also, if you do have a lighter complexion and you have red spots, a self-tan is your best friend. The redness doesn't appear as much when you have a little bit more color. Last but not least, the oh so effortless walking in heels. I need more coffee. To get good at walking in heels. When you're trying to learn how to walk in heels, there are a ton of different things that might be running through your mind, right? Like, keep your legs straight, don't keep them bent, have long steps, but not too long. Use your hips. Don't swing your arms too much. And if you're thinking about all those different things early on when you're trying to just learn how to walk in heels and feel comfortable in them and like, you know, not fall, that stuff can start to become overwhelming. That what I've recommended to some people is take a dance class in heels. A ton of dance studios offer these nowadays. Online, you can find them on YouTube. To let loose in heels will just help you then later with your walk. Anybody seen dodgeball? You know, like if you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can dance in heels, you can walk in heels. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys find it helps. If you have any suggestions, I would love to hear it. So many more, but just wanted to keep this as short as possible. If I think of any more, I might come up with a part 2 to this, and for sure, let me know if you have things to add.